Welcome to How to Improve Your Clinic Profits by Using Your Existing Clients. I would argue
It's with your
that
existing
you already
clients.
have the
I
solution
want to show
to
you,
increasing your clinic profits, possibly without realising it. And the answer isn't something new or fancy, flash, or particularly expensive. I'd argue it's actually your existing clients themselves. The reason I can really suggest this, with some confidence at least, is that I've been working over the last 18 months or so with 32 clinics in the UK, and they're clinics that may be rural, inner city, a whole spectrum of different clinics with different client databases and different client makeup. And the results that we've got having worked with these clinics aren't really what we expected. And I want to give you just a few examples of what these clinics have in common when it comes to their marketing. Firstly, they all seem to share a very low rate of return and satisfaction on Google advertising. The other thing that they have in common is that there's also a very low rate of return on advertising in general away from the internet. They also run newsletter emails rather than specific email campaigns. They have a single monthly email, and you may recognize yourself here. They tend to put everything into that email, every new offer, every service, and that goes out on a monthly basis. They also tend to focus on obtaining new clients, which is perfectly understandable, but they also tend to prioritize obtaining new clients. There's also a dissatisfaction with the website and the website builder. I'm not saying that that's the case across the board. There's some very good websites out there and some very competent website builders, but there is generally a feeling that the clinic website isn't quite doing what it should do. Finally, there's a recognition that at least within the next few months, possibly this year, that you'll need to start using social media, be that Facebook, Twitter, and the rest of them. And I want to make one thing quite clear before I begin to reveal the secrets of the clinic database. I want you to understand that I think obtaining new customers is absolutely vital. It's imperative. But what I'm actually arguing is that existing clients should be prioritized. Okay? So before you look at obtaining new clients and promoting and branding your clinic, you will need to have a process underway with your existing client database. These are the reasons why, and it's based on the clinics that we've been working on at the marketing clinic for the last 18 months. Their existing clients are 25 times more likely to purchase from you. They are free. There are more of them than these so far unconverted new clients, new customers. Okay, 3 very compelling reasons. A system for existing clients is going to be a system for your new clients. What I mean to say is if you have a process in place where there's follow-up, frequent emails to your existing customer database, then you will have a system in place that will be operative and attract your new customers. You need to switch to campaigns, a campaign-based system, rather than your newsletters. Probably most importantly, and the tools of the modern age, the internet in the last 3 years have now given us, is that you can record all this data. You can record how this list of yours, this customer database list, actually works. So, what's the first step in this process? And I apologise if this is clear to most of you, which I'm sure it is, but I do need to clear up the smallest misunderstanding that people have. The difference between a clinic management software system, iClinic I think being one example. People get that confused, or clinic owners get that confused with an email marketing database itself. They're two very different things. Okay, the clinic management software isn't going to be able to do your marketing for you. It's not a system that is able to manage, measure, and send out and record the responses of your existing customer database. What you can do, however, is switch to Gmail and MailChimp. Virgin uses Gmail, and Gmail is more than just simply an emailing system like Hotmail. It is actually a contact database. I mean, it's a lot more than that. But it is used as a client database by, as I said, companies such as Virgin, many more besides, but that's one that you'll probably be most familiar with. MailChimp itself is a client management system. They share one thing in common, and that is that they're cloud-based, so they're not based on expensive software that needs changing. Google does it for you, and MailChimp will do that for you too. You can access it anywhere, and it doesn't have to be within the clinic, which is a big advantage on previous marketing databases that were available. So let's look quickly at why I would say Gmail. Firstly, it does store your contacts. Secondly, it works with MailChimp, and the best thing about Gmail is it's free. Up to a certain point, that is, when you might have to go into Google Apps and send over a certain email volume, but we haven't yet reached that stage with most of our clients, so it's well within Gmail's capabilities to run a full client database system. So why MailChimp? This is probably the biggest innovation in email marketing, and I think marketing as a whole in the last three years or so. Why MailChimp? First, you can see who is opening your emails. Just as importantly, and for a different reason, you can see who is not opening your emails. You can also see who is not receiving your emails. Slightly different from those who don't open is those who don't receive in the first place. Something I'm going to get to in a minute. You can also see who is clicking on those emails. Before you begin organising your client database, I get the clinics to organise it in a certain way. And the reason I use this approach, I hope, will become clear a little bit later on. First of all, we use the top 20%. Okay, I get the clinics to organise their contact lists. First thing we want to do is establish who's in the top 20%. Then we want to establish who are the gonaways, who are those people that just aren't coming to that clinic anymore. Then we have the beautifully named everyone else. Let's just have a look at the top 20%. The top 20% are normally those who either refer, they're the most frequent purchasers, those who spend the most, and sometimes, very fortunately, if you do have someone in the public eye, they're celebrities too. It's a gut feeling too. So if I would say to you, can you produce me a list of the top 20%? You would probably be able to do that without too much trouble, or need to refer to this criteria. You know who they are. The gonaways, in a similar way, gonaways are normally classified by a clinic as those who haven't been treated for between 6 and 24 months. You'll know who they are. Again, it's a gut feeling. Who it is who's gone away, who you haven't seen, who used to come in fairly frequently and you haven't seen from between 6 or 24 months or so, depending on the kind of clinic you are and the database that you've got. Final point before I get onto the secret is about list and the client list itself, is that this list, it has a life of its own. You have to, say here, resuscitate it and get the blood flowing. By that, a little bit colourful metaphor there, but what I mean by that is, this list of yours, I want you to treat it as a living, breathing thing, almost medically, and I want you to understand that you need to keep this list in good health. It is literally the lifeblood of your business. So you need to organize it in a certain way, but you need to communicate with it. That's the blood aspect of this list. We need to trim away the emails that don't work, try and recover those that aren't working, and do that kind of thing on a continual basis in order to keep this list alive and to understand how it acts and reacts. So on to then secret number 1. Everyone else. Val is a clinic client of yours, and because of the recent technology that we have at our disposal, we can tell something very, very interesting about Val. Now, Val has opened these emails, the last email, about 7 times. Okay, well, precisely 7 times. Now, Val has also opened the last 3 emails. Those 2 facts alone make the picture we have of Val very, very important in terms of marketing, really critical to your business. We can see here that when we're using MailChimp, we can see how many have opened, how many recipients there are. This is an example of a campaign that we did. Does it have the date on there? I think that was in December. Now Val lives. We can track. She lives at the top of this list because she's opened the most. Right? Now that gives us a very good indication of what type of client Val is. Information that we didn't have prior to MailChimp. We know that those that open most frequently are the most interested in purchasing your products or services. Okay? Now we didn't know that before. We couldn't tell who was opening what. But we do know that those who open are most likely, if they haven't booked already, are very near booking. Right? You can see that there. By the way, you need to click that twice when you come to look at your opens and open rates. You need to click that open button twice, and it then reveals who are there. Even if they're opening it 3 times, they're much more likely to be interested in this service. So this in turn leads us to a really critical process that we have going on behind the scenes here, and it's something that you need to be aware of. Because what you want to be doing with your list is you want to be taking the bulk of that list and making them and turning them into Vals, the regular and frequent openers. Okay, so we're moving them from prospects and suspects and existing clients and first-time buyers and so on through to the advocate end of the spectrum by constantly communicating with them and actually monitoring what they're doing. And we want to be moving Val into, this is meant to be an iceberg, that's the tip of the iceberg. And we want to be moving Val right into the top 20% there. Okay, that's the idea. We want to turn Val into an advocate, and we can see that she's close to being one. If we know that Val is opening emails frequently and she's clicking on the booking links but hasn't yet booked in, we know that Val's close to what we call a tipping point here. We can then eliminate the cold call. We can phone the Vals, those who are frequently opening, and we can say something like, I've seen that you have an interest in this treatment. Is there anything I can do to help? Okay, very powerful way of turning the Vals that we can now identify into purchasers. It works really well, that strategy, actually. And it doesn't scare Val either, particularly. She's normally very pleased to hear from you. So she's been clicking away there and opening emails. On to the second secret. Bounced emails. Very, very important part of your list. It's normally you think, oh no, they haven't received any emails, something's not working. We leave that aside and we just continually send out emails. MailChimp only really lets, it removes bounced emails from subsequent campaigns. So if they bounce in the first one, by the second one, they're not re-emailed. But we can keep a track of who those bounced emails are. And here they are. So really out of that last campaign, we had 850 emails sent out, 189 opened, and 180 had bounced. That's a significant part of that list. Okay, it's nearly 20% there, just over 20%, are emails that aren't working. And by bounces, it means either that the email address has been written down wrong, and or it's no longer simply works, and simply been abandoned. So it's a zombie email. What we need to do is we need to find the mobile phone numbers of these bounced emails. Okay, so you have to look into that into any database that you have and retrieve the mobile phone numbers. We book a simple text messaging service here, online text messaging service, and you can say hello. We send them this message all at once. All this message goes to multiple recipients via text. Say hello, this is Val. Obviously, it isn't Val. This is hello, Val. My clinic does not have your correct email. I would like to stay in touch with you and send you info about what the clinic is offering. Please could you SMS your email? Thank you. So like quite an innocuous message, but actually something that's really, really powerful and really works. Not only does it recover emails, you can see here from a campaign that we did in Bristol a week ago, just over a week ago, that we had 54 messages returned from 51 unique contacts. Okay, so they are responding. Some of them are saying, who are you, whatever. That normally indicates that they don't know who you are. But there's something very important about this group. They are far more likely to respond to your offers and purchase from you than any other part of your list. Right, recovered email addresses. There's a reason for that, because they've responded to your text message. So they're in that mode of responding to your communications. They are much more likely to book into a treatment if you send them an email within hours of them responding to this text message. Okay, because they're tuned to receive your communications. It's a very important point. It's worked time and time again. And some of you I know that I've been working with here, that you've tried this system and you'll vouch for me here, that this actually works, and it does produce a small amount of bookings. Okay, even with the first text. So it's not just collecting the emails; it's producing those bookings, and you do need to respond to them fairly quickly via email. But when you do, the results are very pleasing indeed. Let's jump on then to the secret number 3. Okay, the did not opens. It's very, very exciting, isn't it? These titles. Here we can say, so in MailChimp, another one, we did a Peleve radio frequency treatment machine campaign recently, and we can find out who did not open these emails. There's a few things you need to know about the non-openers. Okay, so here are some stats. 50% are systematic unopeners. So what that means is that over a period of time in a sequence of emails, 50% of them will just not open, or will never have opened an email. More importantly, 75% of those who don't open do not know that they are not opening. They're not aware of it. And this is why. Recently, Gmail has divided its inbox, or your inbox, into 3 sections: primary, social, and promotions. And what it's doing is putting MailChimp emails into the promotional inbox, bypassing the primary. People don't go in, Gmail owners don't tend to go into the promotions inbox for obvious reasons. Very annoying. However, these emails aren't, it's the main explanation for all those non-openers. There is a solution. You can get past the promotional inbox. Yahoo and Hotmail now have the same. Okay, it's not all Yahoo and Hotmail have yet had it converted to a promotional inbox system, but they will have. Now the solution here is quite straightforward. You move out of MailChimp into Gmail and send the non-openers a Gmail. Okay, even a group Gmail will probably get through. Gmail to Gmail works particularly well, obviously, because it's a Gmail account and Google will recognise that. And if you really do want to contact people who aren't opening, it's a slightly more time-consuming way of doing it, but to send them an individual email from your Gmail account will pretty much certainly guarantee that that email's opened. You probably received a few of these. Please, can you open this email? Right, the telephone companies, Vodafone and Orange, have been sending these recently. And it's for that reason. If you open an email from a company, then Google then will identify you or that email sender as someone that you want to receive email from, and you can bypass the promotional inbox. But there's a solution. That's the answer to the third secret at the moment. But it does yield results. Don't forget that 75% who haven't been receiving emails, and they just won't have received an email from you for some time, so they're very surprised when they do, and are much more responsive than those who've been used to receiving your emails. So what can be done here? What is it what we need to do? Well, first of all, you will need to book a Gmail and a MailChimp accounts. Right, that's the first thing. Very easy to do. That's free. You need to begin organising your client data in the ways that I've outlined earlier in the talk, with your 20%, top 20%, your gonaways, and your everyone else sections. And you need to train yourself and key staff in how to use a marketing client database, and you need to do that quickly. There are training courses available. I work for the Marketing Clinic. We produce training courses on almost every aspect of marketing, from email marketing through to how to market on social media. A lot of you have done those courses in this room, or if not, you're currently doing them, and they are, all the information in those courses is based on the activity and the work that we've done with other clinics. So we've taken out what works, what are the best strategies to adopt, and it's there for you to use and put into practice yourselves. So I strongly suggest you go to the Marketing Clinic. There are offers on there today, so anyone on this course who wants to book can either see me afterwards, but you will receive a discount. One last piece of advice I feel I need to give you before we open up for questions is I really would not outsource the marketing process before you understand the principles involved. Right, it's very common for me, and understandable. I had a lot of the clinics saying, "Dan, we'll just pay you. You get on with that marketing thing. I'm a nurse. I want to get on with this. I don't have time to do any of this." Well, actually, it is a business, and for that reason, it's very important that first, before you outsource, you can outsource, but before you do that you do understand these core principles. So, do get on one of the courses. Do study. There are sections certainly in the step-by-step courses and the better ones available that give you the marketing theory. But as I say, it's very important to understand this just for the health of your business. So training in this area, I would say, is a key area for your business now and in the future. And I thank you very much for your attention. Thank you.